For this review, I'm going to go over Edgar Rice Burroughs' Barsoom series, book number 6, The Mastermind of Mars. Now, this one we're still, John Carter is still not the main character again. In this one, we're dealing with a brand new Earthman. His name is Ulysses Paxton, a World War I soldier who, being shot at, gets hit by a shell, and he finds himself transported instantly to Mars. And while there, he wakes up in a laboratory by this very old Martian, a very rare sight indeed, who takes him in immediately and teaches him the language, the customs of Mars, and has him as an assistant. This Martian, his name is Ras Thavas, and he's the mastermind, as the title of the story. He's an elderly mad scientist who could do all sorts of wonderful little things, particularly switching minds out from people's bodies and transporting minds here and there, partial or complete. He uses this to get money from very rich, wealthy people who get old themselves. In this case, he as Ulysses Paxton observes, when he gets started on this, he finds this entourage led by this very elderly Martian woman, who he later finds out is either Zaza or Zaxa. I don't know how it's pronounced, but she is of the land of Fundal. She makes an arrangement with Ras Thavas to take out her brain and put it in a much younger, beautiful body so she can continue on her reign. He takes the money and does the trick, and now the young woman in question, who is taken as a slave girl for such an event, she is now in an older woman's body, and nothing much can be done. So after the deal was made, Ulysses Paxton, he gets a new name, Vadvaro, from Ras Thavas. They live in a nice isolated little laboratory fortress area that's out in the middle of the marsh. And as he's learning everything he can, including how to do the same things that Ras Thavas does as far as switching minds, because Ras Thavas is old himself and he wants a younger body, so he needs Paxton's help to do so. He trains him on how to do it, and he does do this. But in the meantime, he starts to talk to Veladia, who's the young slave girl whose mind was switched with the Empress. So now here she is in the old Empress's body, and he starts to talk to her, and he finds out that she's despite all this, she's very sweet. She takes it kind of well, accepts her fate, and he falls in love with her. So he says he's going to he's going to be determined to get her body back from the Empress. So that's his goal. That's the whole story. He's trying to help out. So, but he's got a few obstacles, because Ras Thavas, who's he has to be trying to convince to help him out on this. So when he switches Ras Thavas' mind to a younger body, he makes him promises that he will help him out, try to get Valadia's body back. He doesn't know how. It's like, okay, I'll do it, and so that he's stuck with that promise. But just in case Ras Thavas has a few tricks up his sleeve, he has to set up to where he has to suspend animated Valadia and hide her. So in case that she's found, his plans won't be foiled, because he's got to face all that problems. He's got all this. He's got Ras Thavas has spies everywhere. So eventually, while he tries to protect her, he sets up a series of companions, and I won't get into details, but there's one of them's an assassin who knows the area well, so he'll need his help. He has and also a couple other characters whose minds are swapped. One person is had half his mind switched with a great white ape, and the great white ape's half of his mind switched to the human. So now one of the companions is one of the great white apes with half a mind of a human being. So right now the human side is in control, but they might have an advantage of that later. So, and another guy, whose mind was swapped by one of the second in command of the Empress of Fundal herself. So there's that conflict as well. So I won't get into the details here. It gets kind of confusing. But so him and his three companions are now find a way to escape and try to go to the city of Fundal to try and get the Empress to bring her back and switch her mind. That's a whole basic plot right there. And and of course the series of adventures as well, involving with that, because they have to take advantage of the religions to try and trick people because the Empress herself is probably seen as one of the favors of God and everything. So again, I won't get too much in details of how to do it because that may spoil the plot. But that's the end where Ulysses Paxton is trying to rescue his a woman that he's fallen in love with and trying to get her brain back. So visually, this is you see a lot of artwork for this one where you see them over the slabs and the ladies on the table. It's it's a very common image, and that's pretty much the short of it for this one. So that's Mastermind of Mars, Notebook 6. Thank you all for watching. You have a nice day.